it's a privilege to have the opportunity to share some thoughts with you this evening as the proprietor, I think, of most of the schools represented here this evening. How many of you here are actually my appointees on the boards? Okay, thanks. So quite a number of you have been appointed by me. You are my representatives, and you have a special responsibility for developing and enriching the Catholic character of our schools, but at the same time you are full members of the boards and take responsibility with all the other members of the boards. So I like to think in the terms of that talent that you're like the servants who have been given 5 talents, because many of you will all come with a life experience and proven ability to serve on a board, either through your own professional expertise or some other talents or skills in the area of governance which you've been asked to use in the field of Catholic education.
I think it's about knowing the team that you're working with. And given that you're going to be together for about 3 years at least, it makes sense to know who you're there with and that you are fit for purpose as a group. John Carver, who writes lots of governance material, says that boards are incompetent groups of competent people. And I think we need to be very careful when we come on boards that we are actually setting up for the purpose that we've been elected to do. Secondly, it's about knowing the environment that we work within, and that's both the educational environment and the special character environment that you've come into. Thirdly, it's about knowing where you're going. Fourthly, it's about knowing what your rules are. Then it's about making sure that you run effective meetings. And lastly, it's about planning for robust and deliberate ongoing review. And for me, those 6 things are pretty much key to you having an effective time on the Board of Trustees that you're currently on.
Well, thank you everybody. Thank you, Michelle, and congratulations to all the new members of the Boards of Trustees. And it's nice to see a lot of familiar faces and some parish priests and some principals, because I want to talk about relationships. I don't want to disappoint you and say it's nothing to do with property, but I have given you a handout, and we are running seminars in the next term when we'll be talking about property in a very focused context, because I love property work. I've been in school most of my life, even in my adult life, and I've worked in most of the government organisations before I came here to do with property, and it's come very clear to me that the most important thing in our work is relationships, and 10 years almost I've been in this role, and it's our understanding of what our role is together that I want to talk about tonight, with a particular focus, of course, on property. But Catholic schools, board and proprietors work is a little more than that. So I do have limited time, but I'm going to try to keep focused on the topic that I happen to choose. You've had a really good session on what your role is in governance. I think it's a moment we should take now to focus back on what kind of school we are actually working in. And this is a definition from the New Zealand Bishops' Conference and from the New Zealand Catholic Education Office. And you will find the New Zealand Catholic Education Office people organise the reviews. So, and the bishops, of course, are in charge of Catholic education for the whole of New Zealand. So our schools are about developing the whole person. That's personal, physical and spiritual development. But they are part of a community, and that community is your parish. If you're a primary school, you are a parish school, or you might serve a couple of parishes. If you're a secondary school, you will serve a group of parishes, and you will also be involved with the schools that contribute to you. So that is your community, because the Catholic school is about the community you live and work in, educating children in your school. Okay, now Catholic Schools Board, though, are part of your parish community. So my request is please use us, because this is our position.
I'd like to start first, though, by saying I think we can be justifiably proud of our Catholic education system. I think we are schools that certainly make a strong point of difference. Earlier today I was listening to Karen Searle, who's the Secretary for Education, speak, and she said children learn best in an environment where they are valued, nurtured and challenged to fulfil their full potential. And I thought, that's what we're about. That's what we do so well, and that's what we should be so proud of ourselves. And I think it's good that we affirm that for ourselves and celebrate it. So it is a great credit to all the people involved in Catholic education, from everyone in the school, the support staff, the staff, to the effective leadership and professional leadership we have, to the community, to the parish, to the parents, to everyone in that wider network who work and add their little bit to the success of Catholic education. And right down, and more importantly, to your role in terms of boards of trustees for very effective professional governance and management.